I'm Matt. I am in Victoria on the Mornington Peninsula down there. So I studied at Monash for 4 years, doing the undergrad degree there. Finished that up in November last year. Then jumped on board with 360 as a allied health assistant in December for a month. And then once my ARPA registration kind of came through, went on to as an OT in January this year. So nearly 12 months with the company. The first 12 months has been quite interesting for me. So when I graduated, I was pretty anti-pediatrics, anti-kids. No particular reason. I just kind of wasn't really my thing. But I guess the perks of working in a community job, I was able to dabble a little bit in kids, in January and February. And kind of since then, I'm now pretty much full kids caseload. I just work with kids pretty much, exclusively, which has been awesome. And it has been challenges, but, I've always been supported. And any questions I have I've had it answered. And, working with kids, I find just so rewarding. And, when you see a kid just run up to you and give you a hug after a session or something like that, that really for me was like, all right, that's OT, doing that side of things OT. And I really found kind of my niche, but, I still have adults, I still have a range of clients, but yeah, that's kind of me in a bit of a nutshell. It really was a kickstart. So like in those 4 weeks, one, I got to meet the team early, which was really interesting and really quite fun. I was doing a lot of resource making for the therapist, but I also started to pick up, I think I picked up 3 therapy clients in that time as well, under the supervision of an OT, obviously. But what that meant was I kind of touched base on how do I do therapy. And then when I actually did finish that, AHA thing and went into the OT, I actually got those clients as handovers. So I already built that little bit of rapport with them. I think it was just really good that I kind of felt like a little bit like an OT as an AHA, if that makes sense. And then when I actually was an OT, I felt a lot more confident in what I was talking about and what I was saying because I had that taste. And I think with the AHA thing as well, you're guided by someone who is qualified that has been working in that, and you never feel like out of your depth because they really list out, this is what you're doing. You're going to be doing this therapy session. You're going to be playing these games. You're going to be doing this. And for me, it just really gave me that confidence that when I finally got my registration, that, I just kind of rolled into it. I rolled into the 12-week induction, and then from there, just kind of kept rolling and rolling, which was really nice. And from that, I think it just made me feel a bit more supported. Like I kind of had that team morale. And then when I was doing my, my shadows, I was confident enough to message someone, I see you have home mods. Let's go look at home mods. Is that all right if I come along, sort of thing? And for me, it was just a real confidence booster doing that. And I think if I had my time over, I'd do it again. I was really keen to start it, and I'm excited that there's a Kickstart program this year. Yeah. My induction process kind of really started when I went to the Christmas party, not even working with anyone for the first time, absolutely terrified of meeting, a bunch of new people really. And that was, a couple of weeks before I started. And that kind of really, I went there and I was as welcomed as I was been working there for 12 years sort of thing. And that really kind of kicked off for me. My 12-week induction was that, that random Christmas party before I started. And like the induction itself, you have like some specific training you can do in that time as well. And it really helps you kind of understand what is going on. And it gives you a bit more of a break because it can be, with a lot of client visits early on, it can get a little bit overwhelming, but having that structured time where you can kind of just sit down and watch a training video, settle yourself, and then you can go to your next shadow clients. And the fact that it's kind of graded as well across those 12 weeks. So you have time to build up your caseload, like just chuck in the deep end with 5 clients, you know what I mean? You'll slowly build your clientele. And I think that's what was good for me, that I wasn't overwhelmed with kids initially. Like I was able to get, 1 kid. I didn't get my first kid till I think week 4 of my induction program. And I got home mods, I got 18. I think that really just helped me kind of finish my 12 weeks and go, all right, cool, I can do this now, you know what I mean? For me, coming from, all my placements were adults. And then, as I said, I'm now a peds therapist. I had no idea how to interact with a 3-year-old. I'm only 22 myself. I don't have kids. I don't plan on having kids anytime soon. So that's something that was, very different for me. So having shadows with therapists who do know kids, who have been working with kids for 10 years, I kind of saw how I should interact, how you use your language with things like that. And it's just stuff that you don't really get to know at uni. Like uni tells you all the information, but like in that real world space, it's daunting. I was petrified of kids initially, but having that support of seeing what they do, you're just there and you have that incidental contact with their kind of clients. It just boosts your confidence because something my supervisor said was like, a lot more than what you give credit to yourself to know. Like I didn't know kids, but I actually knew how to interact with a kid just instinctively, you know what I mean? So I feel those shadow sessions really just give you that confidence boost to kind of, leave the nest and do your own thing eventually. When I first started, I was pretty crappy at kind of allocating clients and putting them where I need to put them. But like, that's when the support of the supervisor kind of guided me of where I should be doing and, book those back-to-back clients for travel. So it can be a bit like, you're doing your own thing, but, you are guided on the most effective way to do it. And then, once you start to find your feet, that's when you can kind of go, this is how I want to do my day. So I think that's something that, it can be like in a bit of a deep end initially, but like you're guided to what's the best way to do it. Say one of the really cool things about community that I found, especially with 360, was that, I book in my clients. I call them, I choose kind of when I see them, how much, I see them, I work out with them. So for me, because I work a lot in pediatrics, I have a lot of therapy clients. So I can kind of schedule my days to have therapy days. So, for me, I'll have one before school, a couple during the day, and then one after school. But then what that means is, for me, I have a report writing day where I'm just in the office for the day, just kind of doing my thing and getting those reports out. And then the other days, I'll see between, 3, 4, 5, 6 clients a day if I really want to try and smash out a big day. But like, that's really flexible, and like you get to control a little bit about when you want to see a client and during the week, which I think is really something I didn't actually expect, to be honest. And it's actually been really nice because I can then go, I'm a morning person. I want to see, 3 kids in the morning before 12, and I'll do that. I'll smash those 3 clients out. So that's something I really enjoy.
I agree. People with
100%. For me, I do a lot of case notes a week because I see so many kids. And generally for me, like I will have notes down, but I'll set a little bit of time, kind of like a half-hour time during the day where I'm just doing 2 or 3 case notes back to back. And that kind of works for me. So I kind of group them together. But again, it's all during work hours. I know other therapists in my team will, after each appointment, do their case notes. It's really flexible, and you just find what works for you. And for me, because I see, 3 or 4 back to back, I find just in, half hour, from 2 to 3 before my 4 o'clock appointment, I'll just, smash out my case notes. For me, like I instantly think of, my young boy. I've been working with him since February, really, since I really started. And his goal was just his fine motor skills. He wanted to put his CPAP mask on overnight that has 2 little Velcro straps you have to feed through and kind of lock in. And he had horrible fine motor, like really, really bad fine motor skills, I should say stuff. And I've been working with him, like I said, since February. And then last month, so we kind of graded, we were doing, little threading activities. We did that for ages. Then I got my big teddy bear out, and he practiced putting the mask on the teddy bear. And then, about a month or 2 ago, he put the mask on himself with a mirror. And the first time he did it, he just put the straps on himself, no issue in the world. He took the mask off, and the smile on this young boy's face, you could just melt you away pretty much. And, to see his parents as well, mum was pretty much in tears because like that's just changed this, 13-year-old's life. He can put that mask on at nighttime now. He doesn't have to get up and go upstairs and wake his parents up. And for me, that kind of was like, oh, like bless, like that's what I'm doing. And, you don't always kick those goals, but that was one that, it kicked that goal. And, it was just to see everyone just so happy in that one moment was really nice.